This is the Shanice Lewis Show, the number one podcast for plus-size women. With your host, the queen of curvy conversation, Shanice Lewis.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Shanice Lewis. Today is Thursday, August 16th, 2018. Make sure you're following the show's social media pages on Facebook at The Shanice Lewis Show and on Instagram and Twitter at Shanice Show. And make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes, Google Play Music, or your favorite podcasting app. Today we have a very special guest. Theresa Larson-Royals is Miss Ashley Stewart 2017. She was the first to win Ashley Stewart's nationwide Finding Ashley Stewart tour in search of their Miss Ashley Stewart brand ambassador, a woman who effortlessly embodies the qualities that Ashley Stewart stands for: kindness, resilience, confidence, community, and fashion. The Finding Ashley Stewart 2017 tour stopped in multiple cities across the country, identifying regional winners, and through an online contest, Theresa won the 2017 title, a $10,000 prize package, a new Ashley Stewart wardrobe, a makeover, tour-sponsored gift prizes, and participation in features across Ashley Stewart's media platforms for 1 year. For a second year, Ashley Stewart is conducting a nationwide Finding Ashley Stewart tour, which will be concluded this fall on September 15, 2018, with a finale event at the historic King's Theater in Brooklyn, New York, to crown Ashley Stewart 2018. But today we're going to learn all about Theresa and her reign and what's next for her. Let's welcome Theresa to the show. Hi, Theresa.
Hi, how are you, Shanice?
I'm good, so I'm so excited I got you on the show to learn all about what you've been up to with Ashley Stewart. But before we get into that, tell me, growing up, were you always confident, or is that something that you had to grow into later in life?
Oh, no. What I usually tell to everyone is that, I was never this confident as I am now. I did suffer with low self-esteem and depression at one point in time, which led me to make some very unhealthy decisions, especially in relationships. And I had to truly learn how to love myself before I could even be this advocate for curvaceous women. So this really just happened recently, probably in the last maybe 5 or so years.
Oh, wow.
That I had to really love myself. I've only been modeling. I'm still a novice model, so I've only been modeling for the past 3 or so years, and it took a lot of courage to get on a runway. But my thing was if not me, who else? Why not me? And
right.
That is what I promote a lot with my campaign is why not you? Just because you are a size 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, it doesn't mean that you can't walk the runway.
And so you grew up in St. Thomas. So how did that experience in the islands influence your body confidence? And I'm asking you this because ladies tell me when they go to Jamaica that, the Jamaican men love plus-size women. Is it the same where you're from, too?
Yeah, well, island women have always been, in my eyes, we have always been thick, whether it's thick in the thighs, the buttocks, the breast area. We have curves, and that is looked at as womanly. It's looked at as queenly. But still, because we have a large influence from the U.S., and what we saw in the media, we're very much underrepresented. So you didn't see much. Queen Latifah back in the day, she still is a plus size diva, but she was one of the very rare women that we saw on television or in the music industry that exemplified being a queen with curves. So growing up in the islands, yes, I saw it around me, but because we saw more of it in news and music and on videos, you didn't see those curvaceous women. So that was lacking in my childhood.
Hmm, that's interesting. So, in an island where the majority of people are brown and curvy, the media still plays a major part in shaping a girl's confidence and self esteem.
Exactly, and it still does to this day. That's the reason why, we do take to social media, and we are a movement on social media, especially on Instagram, where you do see more curvaceous women stepping out there and saying, "This is me. I'm not promoting an unhealthy lifestyle. I'm still eating healthy. I'm still doing my exercise, but this is me. Accept me as I am." So that movement is stronger now than it's ever been before.
So, prior to entering the Finding Ashley Stewart competition, were you interested in being a plus size model, but just didn't have the confidence, or was it something you were trying to get into?
It's a combination of both. Actually, I just happened to see a something come across my timeline, a post from the Curvy Fashionista here in Atlanta, and I was like, you know what? Let me just try it and see. So I went down to an Ashley Stewart store, and I tried out, and I'm standing there with gorgeous women that are like 5'9", 5'10", 6 feet, built like brick houses, and here I am, 5'5" and I'm walking in there with all this confidence. I'm like, you know what? Like I said, why not me? So that was my first exposure to professional modeling and getting that taste of that industry. It took me a little bit of a confidence builder for that, and I had my friends and my family, and when I sat down and I told them, "Hey, I'm going out for this," they were like, "It's about time."
You really? Now, why did they say that?
Because they always said that, you dress so nice, you dress to fit your figure, you always carry yourself with a certain confidence. It's like every time you walk into a room, you command the attention of everyone in there, and they were expecting this.
Wow. So people around you saw it in you before you saw it in yourself.
Exactly, exactly. Now I grew up with, I saw my mom being dressed as she was every day. She carried herself with a certain elegance, especially when she and my dad used to go out on their date nights. So I grew up with that beautiful woman image. You have your queenly, and I always carried that with me. So it wasn't a surprise that they saw that. I just needed to build it within myself.
Right, right. So tell us the process you had to go through to win the title. You just said you first went to Ashley Stewart in Atlanta, but how many rounds and what all did it take to become the winner?
Okay, so in 2017, I was actually booked for another event at the same time Ashley Stewart was coming to Atlanta, so I could not compete in at the store stop in Atlanta at that time. I had met with Tamara Ivy, who is the marketing and customer relations manager at Ashley Stewart, and she had told me that their last stop was in Nashville, which was a 3-hour drive from Atlanta. So I decided, you know what? I'll go ahead and make that trip. So I went to Nashville, and I think of out of like 80-something women that were there, I placed in the top two, and then I went on to the digital contest in the top 20, and then placed in the top 6 finalists that went to New York. So it was my destiny to do that. That's what I feel.
Oh, wow. So you didn't compete. Well, you didn't enter in your hometown. You drove to a
No,
different city.
I
So you really
sure
wanted it.
did. I really wanted it. I really wanted it. Yes,
And so a portion of it was online voting, right?
that's correct.
Now, how did you get the most votes out of everybody? I know that's hard work.
Oh yes, I mean, and it is hard work. I had to learn how to rebrand myself and to put myself out there. I was never really into Instagram, so I had to learn that really quick.
Right.
I used different apps to put out videos, but one of the things I did do that touched more people than anything else was that I reached out to my people in the Virgin Islands, and so during the late part of August and the early part of September, I was doing radio spots in the islands, and I implored them. I said, look, if this is meant for me, if I get this far, I can take it all in New York, and they put their confidence in me, and I won. I got the votes. Then the downside to that was that the hurricane, both Irma and Maria, hit within a couple weeks of the top six being announced to go into New York. And basically, they were shut out from seeing me win in New York. It actually came to via social media to them that I had won, and that was an inspiration. It actually uplifted the spirits of the people in the islands because they had gone through such devastation. That was my biggest. That was my biggest comeback then.
Now let's backtrack a little bit. Something you just said caught my attention. So you said that you bought advertisement on the radio in your hometown?
No, no, I didn't buy advertisement. I reached out to other PR people in the islands as well as media people that I was familiar with, and we had interviews. We talked. We did little radio spots. That's how I reached out to the people in the islands.
Oh,
It
okay.
was
Because I was
mostly
say
through
you.
radio.
Okay, because I was going to say, well, you really were doing some promoting with
No, no,
press.
it's just yeah, it's just press basically. It's just press.
Got it. So one of the prizes that you won was a new wardrobe with Ashley Stewart, and
Girl.
I know that you wanted to use some of your prizes with your clothing to help women in need.
Yes. So when I went to the corporate office in November, I was gifted with a lot of clothing from Ashley Stewart, which included winter jackets, coats, and really and truly, Shanice, I'm a person that I can't take it with me,
Mhm.
and if I have that opportunity to pay it forward, I will. So I gave a lot of I gave a lot of it away, and then later on in my reign, when I went back to the corporate office for Full Figure Fashion Week, which was just recently, again I came back with lots of clothes. So I asked the corporate office. I said, you know what? The least I can do is give back to other ladies in need. It can be a date night. It can be that they're singing in the choir on that Sunday and giving them a gift card to help them purchase whatever they're going to purchase. To me, that's the least I can do. So on a couple weekends ago, I went into the stores. I had a little styling party, and I gave away gift cards.
Nice. And so that's just something you decided to do on your own. You could have just been a hoarder and just had a whole bunch of clothing piled up.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. And like I said, I can't take it with me. So if there's something that doesn't fit for some reason or is not necessarily look good on my body type, I have no problem giving it to someone else.
Well, that's nice. That's really nice. Now, one of your other prizes was a makeover and a photo shoot with Ashley Stewart. Now, my interpretation when I was reading the prizes was that you were going to have a one-time photo shoot with Ashley Stewart, but it looks like you turned into a full-time Ashley Stewart model. Now, did this happen organically after you started working with the team?
I would say so. I think it's a matter of optimizing my time with Ashley Stewart. Since I live in Atlanta and I had to travel to New York for Full Figure Fashion Week, I'm like, well, what else would you all like me to do while I'm there? And they were like, okay, we'll put you in some dresses and advertise some dresses for us that's coming up. That'll be released in, June and July. Believe me, it was the first time I did it with them in November. I was so humbled and flattered by all the people that were there, that were helping me and encouraging me. But to do it a second time, oh my goodness, we had the music going, we were partying. It was so much fun.
Yeah, because I was in Ashley Stewart last week, and you were big in the store, like behind the cash register in the big picture. So I wasn't expecting that as the ambassador. I thought maybe they'll just post you on the social media, but you really was all over the store. So
Yes,
that was
yes,
exciting.
and yes, and it's fortunate. It's so. I pictured myself there when I was running for Ashley Stewart. I pictured myself behind. I visualized myself behind the cash wrap. So to see myself up there the first time, I had tears in my eyes, and I didn't even
Yes.
know. I thought like you. I was like, oh, they're gonna put me in a little poster. It might be in the front of the store, but to see
Right.
me there in like vivid color, it's amazing.
Yes. Now, tell me how you have bonded with the Ashley Stewart team over the last year. It looks like you specifically got close with Tamara Ivy.
I did. I did. Tamara's my girl. We have a Caribbean heritage background, so definitely we bonded that way. But the one thing about the Ashley Stewart family is that they really and truly care for each other. They're the family that you fight with and you love on, and they're the ones that help you out when you have like those bad times. That's a true family. Under the leadership of Mr. James Ree, who is their CEO, it is a company that truly believes in its community, and it gives back to its community, and you see that in each and every one of the staff members that are there. Everyone's on the same plane, the same level field, and that shows. And that shows also with down to even their staff in their stores. And that when you see that in the stores, you feel like family. You come in there and you're looking for something. Before you know it, you're getting a dress for church, you're getting a dress for your anniversary with your husband, and that person that's helping you, they're making you feel so much better. So I bonded with them. They're phenomenal.
Now, besides the Ashley Stewart team, were you able to use your title to network and connect with influential people in the plus size community?
Oh yes. Well, first of all, I connected with you at Full Figure Fashion Week, which was amazing. I'm like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, and I got to meet other designers and other models, because this industry can be a really cutthroat industry. It's bad
Right.
enough that we are still a very small segment of the fashion industry, even though larger designers are starting to come into and infiltrate our world. We're still a very small segment, and it's very cutthroat. But at the same time, you build a sisterhood, you build a brotherhood within this industry. So I was able to meet with other models. I picked their brains, got styling tips, got modeling tips. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning for me.
Yes, yes. Now, what were some of your major accomplishments as Miss Ashley Stewart 2017?
Well, the very first thing, I wouldn't say was a major accomplishment, but in my heart, the very first thing that I did when I came off of winning Ashley Stewart 2017 that Saturday night was on that Sunday when I flew back to Atlanta. I went straight to a collection drive to get things together to send back to the islands. I had, gathered things in my household. I had got things from other people and other companies, and I took them down to that collection drive. That was the first thing I did, even coming off of like only an hour's sleep from the night before. But one of the other things I've done is I've talked to young women about being confident in their curves, that their self-worth is not tied to that number that's on the tag in their clothing. It's not tied to a number on their scale, on the scale. It's not tied to how many likes you get on Facebook or on Instagram or any other social media. It's actually tied to what you feel about yourself. And not every day I wake up beautiful and confident. There are some days I have to repeat to myself, Theresa, you are beautiful, you are intelligent, you are going to make some sort of impact in this world. I have to say that sometimes to myself more than once. And for me to tell that to young ladies and to say it's okay to not be feeling your best, but we have to, I wouldn't say even try, we have to learn to love ourselves first before anyone else can love us. That's what I think is my biggest accomplishment as being Miss Ashley Stewart, 2017.
And, when you have a title, well, I don't know if you would call this a pageant title, but these titles, one of the things that people look for is community service, using your title to help others. So that's wonderful.
Yes. So, we're continuing to reach out, especially to the schools in the local areas, because I think we don't tell our young women, especially our young girls, that they're beautiful from the time that they're small. So when they hear it when they're older, they're not used to that, and it may lead into wrong intentions depending on who it's coming from. If we start telling our young ladies that they're beautiful and that royalty runs in their veins, they're going to get used to hearing that. You're not building their arrogance. They're not going to be arrogant, but they're going to be confident, and they're going to be able to say, you know what, I can conquer this because I know I'm worth much more than what is in that mirror.
Right. Now, did you have any challenges being put in the spotlight on such a large scale, especially with social media, since you brought up social media, because people could be so cruel on social media. Did you face any trolls while you've been in the spotlight?
Oh yeah, that's going to always happen whether you're a superstar or whether you're a regular person. There's always going to be someone out there who's going to cast that stone. And how I use that is that continue to cast the stones because I'm going to build bridges with it. I wouldn't say that I have people that out there just downright hate on me. That's not the case. There are some people who may be jealous, but at the same time, if I can show them that if I can do this, I'm at my age, at my height, at my weight, if I can do this, they can do this as well. And that just motivates me. Like I said, there are some days that, I may not look my best, but I always say that I'm luckier than somebody else. I'm much better off than somebody else, not in a bad way. So how can I use that to encourage that other person? But that's going to happen. You just you have to be like a duck and let it roll off your back.
Yes. So what is your advice for the women currently competing for the 2018 title?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, congratulations for making it this far. They are a part of a sisterhood. Well, all of the women that entered are a part of a sisterhood of queens. We are a movement. But now these 8 women that are going to New York, you have to exemplify, like you said, resilience, humility, kindness, and beauty from inside and out. Again, Ashley Stewart, the story of Ashley Stewart is much more than just clothing. That company has gone through its own trials and triumphs, and that's the reason why I can relate to Ashley Stewart. So I tell the young ladies, be kind in everything that you do and every person that you see. I'm not asking you to be, that fake friendly type of person, but be that genuine, kind person, and you would be surprised. You never know who you're looking at or who's looking at you, but you never know who you're around, and you can influence anybody.
Yes, without even knowing it. So the search for Miss Ashley Stewart 2018 is now. The 8 finalists have been selected, and the second annual Finding Ashley Stewart will be at the King's Theater in Brooklyn on September 15th, 2018. It will be hosted by Lonnie Love and has an all-star lineup of performers. Tickets are currently on sale. Now, are you getting sad that your reign is coming close to an end?
It is a bittersweet feeling, in all honesty. There are times that, and Tamara doesn't know this. I guess she'll know this now. There are times when Tamara and I may have our meetings. I'm in the back, and in the back of, we have our teleconference meetings, and I'm crying. She may not hear it, but tears are running down my eyes because it's like,
Aww.
it's an opportunity. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity for myself and for for any of the other 8 women that are coming up behind me. But at the same time, this is just the beginning. It is opening so many doors for me, and I can only go up from here. It's been a phenomenal journey with its ups and downs, and I've met a lot of people. I've met people that I would probably never have met before in my life because of the industry that I'm in. I'm currently in healthcare versus being in the fashion industry. So I loved every moment of it, and I'm looking forward to just moving up from here.
Now, will you continue to pursue plus-size modeling after your reign is over?
Oh yes, but I look at myself more so not only as a model, but as a public speaker, a public an image, and that is important to me because that influencer can do so much for so many young women.
Right. So, like you said, this is just the beginning for you. You're ready to keep it moving.
Yes.
So, do you have anything coming up right now that we can be on the lookout out for, or right now you're just focusing on the last weeks of your reign?
Well, right now I'm serving in the capacity of helping these 8 young ladies to kind of guide them as to what to expect come September, and then once I turn over my sash to the new Miss Ashley Stewart 2018, I will continue to be her role model that she can reach out to at any time and help her, guide her along her way. So I will be her go-to person. And it is our dream that once we continue on this path with future Miss Ashley Stewarts, that we're going to be a sisterhood that continues for quite a long time. During that time after I give up my reign, I'll probably still continue doing some motivational speaking. So I'm looking forward to that.
So at the actual event that's on September 15th, do you have like a role or a job that you will be doing, or are you just going to enjoy the show?
Oh, no. I plan to be in every aspect of that show, especially in the opening act. We have a very Caribbean-inspired opening act with Denise Belfon. So I am looking forward to that because of course, being a Caribbean girl, a Caribbean diva, I'm looking forward to coming out in my costume. So yes, I'm excited. Yes, girl, I'm excited.
Well, that sounds fun. So, do you have your own website yet, or is that something in the works?
That is something in the works, but you can definitely join my journey on Instagram at I am Theresa Larson, and I look forward to sharing not only this. Like, again, this is not the end. This is the beginning of something much bigger. So I look forward to all my curvaceous divas joining with me and moving on.
Well, it has been a pleasure speaking with you today. I'm so excited to see your next chapter and continue success on everything that you do.
Thank you so much for having me. Love you, darling.
Love you too, and keep in touch.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And thank you to our fabulous guest, Theresa Larson Royals. Make sure if you're in the Brooklyn area that you attend Finding Ashley Stewart, happening September 15, 2018 at the King Theater in Brooklyn, hosted by Lonnie Love, and it has an all-star lineup that includes SWV, MC Light, and many more. Tickets are on Ticketmaster, and make sure you visit AshleyStewart.com for the latest plus-size fashions. I've been your host, Shanice Lewis. Thank you for tuning in and supporting. Until next time, keep thriving in your curves and be blessed.
You've been listening to The Shanice Lewis Show. For more info about the show, visit ShaniceLewisShow.com.